Howdy, folks. Welcome back.
Beautiful guiding light, why you tears them to ribbons!
That's done.
And it's back on. And that's another kill!
Headshot after headshot.
Smoking its carnage in the corner! We are balling!
We're straight balling! Let's go, baby! Chasing down this Ana. Ana is dead. Baptiste is in the grave 6 feet under. There's the other Genji. There can only be one, and it's Muhiki!
He finds his one, he finds his two, he finds his three, he finds his four!
King down. That's gonna be the round for CSU.
The flash in their face right there. Roger, get him. He's going for the pentakill.
It's the first one. He gets the second for the map.
Oh my goodness, and people are dropping like flies!
Walks right through the omen and he takes down the spike carrier, the Vanga finds the third, and Levy takes them all down! You need an egg, Egg's leaving it up to Goose, Goose is gonna put it in! Oh no, Goose for the third! Bang! This looking doable Scrum McLord is on a rampage! They're tearing them apart, tearing them to ribbons, Tiffin has been slain!
That's it. That's it. CSU wins. All right. And with that, Cleveland State has beaten Manchester and become the new champions of GLEC. First team to beat them in these playoffs, like, ever.
All right, how are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Cleveland State's CVAL for the white team. This is what, their first game of what, playoffs, or is it?
I think it's the final game because I'm pretty sure we're going best out of 5 for this one.
Oh yeah, BO5 here, so it's gonna be a pretty long game. Hope you guys have some snacks, get a couple of water bottles, you know, get set up because we are gonna be in for a good game here. All right, I mean, going into this, to be honest, I really think that Cleveland State has a great chance because against this Akron team, I mean, I know these guys are good. Historically speaking, I know that this Akron, was it blue team or no, gold team? Yes, gold team has been dominating. Arguably, in my opinion, from being a Val Green player, I think that this team is a lot better than their blue team, their varsity team. And so I'm expecting, you know, a lot of ups and downs out of this game, and I'm expecting lots of highlight reels and things just going. Can I swear?
No.
No? Okay. Just things, you know, just getting out of hand. I'm going to try my best to not swear because it's been a minute since I've casted. So bear with me. But yeah, can't wait. What do you think?
I don't really know how the Akron team plays, but I am excited to see how the white team plays. See what they're able to pull off.
I think we're gonna see a lot of really good stuff. You know, before this game, or before I got here on the couch to cast, I actually helped the white team with anti-stratting on 3 different maps here, specifically for the pistol. So those are key rounds to look out for because a lot of it is going to come down to, are we sure Akron is going to play the same way every time? You know, what can we do to make sure we best them, knowing, you know, they might do the same plays every time. And so going into the map Lotus here, 3 bomb sites, we got a lot of different things to worry about. And what I'm looking for here out of Cleveland State White is, are they going to be able to flawlessly execute, or at the very least just execute in general, executing onto the B bomb site, being attackers, considering that we spent a considerable amount of time anti-stratting them. But like I said, this Akron gold team is no joke. You know, they're definitely going to give Cleveland State for a run for their money. Looks like both teams are starting to get ready, and we're about to get into this game. Here we go. Lotus, man. You know, it's actually, being a Valorant player for like nearly 5 years, it's actually a little bit weird kind of casting this. I'm very excited to see what Akron Gold pulls out. Okay, looks like they got what, a Breach, a Vice, opting to go for, you know, a Breach and a Tejo comp here, and everything looks pretty ordinary, or at the very least for me.
Yeah, a lot of space taking capabilities on the side of Akron. So let's see if they play pretty aggressive with it.
That's what I want to see as well, because coming into this, it's all in my opinion, in a BO5, it's all a matter of precedence. You know, if you're gonna come out of the gates gun blazing, then that means you're here to win. You know, and you're gonna catch your opponent off guard. Maybe they're, you know, coming into this thinking, oh, we're the better team, high ego, and just, you know, faulty ego is what I would say, and that goes for both teams. And I'm excited. Simply put, I'm excited to see how these guys do in their first CVAL, like BO5 here.
Looks like CSU is going to go with a similar strategy, but instead of the Vice, is going with the more duelist-oriented Sentinel of Chamber. That's his name.
Yeah. Chamber. I mean, now that's an odd one. I personally know Vikes Crow, and I am willing to argue that I think he is one of the better Sentinel players here in the program. Just Chamber players, sorry, because this guy is an aimer. You know, you've seen the highlights. I mean, this guy can definitely whip out, you know, some insane Deagle gameplay when his team needs it. Like you said, Cleveland State here opting to go for the double initiator, just like Akron, with the Chamber, and so they're gonna have to be worried about defense a little bit. You know, only a trip. Let's see how much value Vikes Crow can get.
They are going to have one less blind in total compared to Akron, but let's hope that doesn't make too much of a difference.
Which it really shouldn't. But here we go. So, yep. Looks like Akron are going to start out by fighting A, it looks like. Running around, and it looks like it's going to be a C stall for these guys. We're not really seeing any utility being placed on the map. A couple of pings, and it looks like Cleveland State are opting to go to B, first pistol round, with a Chamber outside of A, looking for any early aggression.
Looks like Chamber and Breach are going to apply some pressure on up. No, my Breach is going to go back. It looks like it's just going to be Chamber watching over the rotate on on A.
Yep, here we go. And now Cleveland State kicks us off with an early B rush. Fault line coming in for a link here, breakable. Vikes Crow looking to prod around a main, going for a little bit of a timing. And it looks like Cleveland State are taking the fight in Akron. Immediate first frag by CSU Levy and Revy. Here we go. Now it's a 2v1 against Shepard, and Shepard gets dropped by Revy. Now it's a 5-on-2 for Cleveland State. Drone coming out, spots the Vice. Potentially spots Cursed as well. Swinging 3-2-1, and here we go. The trades go out, but kind of in the favor for Akron. Now it's a 1v2 in favor of Cleveland State. Vikes Crow looking to hold the angle. Camino taking a 1v1 here, flashing. Shots don't quite land, but in the end they do, and a right click closes the first pistol round out for Cleveland State. Wow.
Akron completely left B open, and that gave CSU an easy way to get on the site and plant the bomb quickly.
Yep, exactly. And this is what I'm talking about, the anti-strike. I mean, it was flawless, right? An empty bomb site, and that was an easy conversion for Cleveland State. Now, Akron, going forward, let's see how they react, you know, completely getting caught off guard like that.
Yeah, I think this time they might have set up a Vice wall, I think. I saw a Vice at B for a bit. Oh, no, it looks like Teo is going to be looking over B.
So now they're opting to, you know, have a man towards there. Vikes Crow, early engagement. 1D shot comes out. No real hit, but it looks like he's pushed off the line. D10 getting a little bit aggro, getting really aggro with a room bot coming into the smoke A main and just forcing their way into a gunfight here. And on the other side of the map, it looks like the pack of Breach, Raze, and Teo are looking to exec out onto C. Niku's with the smoke in front of him, inside the smoke, full kit. What are we waiting for? It looks like 3 Akron players are here, getting droned out. They only spotted 1 drone, not really getting anything besides 1 person shooting. Vikes Crow kind of pushes the A main players back off, and now they're re-clearing A. Aftershock coming in, a little bit of prodding, not really looking for any real engagement. And Akron expecting a C-pop here, but Cleveland State right on the money, re-clearing A main. All the space is now Cleveland State's. Breach, yeah, Breach is just in a world of trouble here, having to hold both B and A. creates lots of gaps. He has to settle for one or the other. D10 about to swing into Vikes Scroll here. Camino with the first engagement immediately gets raised. And now Cleveland State have that empty bomb site of A to run into. D10 being the first line of defense kind of has to let everybody go through as Akron look to retake from stairs primarily. Cleveland State proactive as ever, immediately going to heaven with the tail drone. Spots one, Niku's with the line. And now Akron's retake. Niku's with the first blood right here. Gets 2 for free bloods. CSU Levy with another kill. Outlaw. Now it's a 5-on-1 for Cleveland State. Niku's taking the final engagement. Unfortunately, gets dropped, but Revy is there with the regen armor to refrag. How about them, Micah? My gosh.
That was definitely an interesting round. Unfortunately, Niku's only had a SMG, so it had a little bit of a range disadvantage compared to Roggle, but was able to be followed up by his teammate. And we are having some technical issues. But I mean, while we have this tech pause, let's talk about how Cleveland State are really setting the precedent, like I said earlier. They are willing to just pause in the mid rounds, you know, let Akron worry about what it is that Cleveland State is doing, you know, and leaving one person holding 2 bomb sites. At one point in the time, D10 was hovering around A main, breakable, just looking towards A and looking at the entrance of B. There were so many timings that Cleveland State could have taken to catch him off guard. And guess what? They ended up doing that. And so going forward, I hope Akron on this tech pause talks about how they cannot leave large gaps on the map like that. Yeah.
Because Cleveland State's going to be right there to take advantage of it.
And they had it right in the first part of the round where they was all spread out across evenly. But when they thought that the CSU was gonna go for C, they all left Breach over to cover 2 sites by himself. So it wasn't much he could do.
Really not much he could do. And it looks like the tech pause is gonna take a little bit longer. So I mean, I want to see how they make use of this chamber, really. Right there on that last round, I think Crow did a really good job initially of, you know, calming utility, you know, I'm getting pushed and manning up with his teammate. And as we are getting ready to play out the round here, I think I want to see like a pop out of Cleveland State, right? You have the lesser weaponry, you know, close range weaponry, and except for the, you know, the rifle in the hands of Niku's and the Outlaw, to which I hope we could see the POV of Crow. And I want to see this guy take engagements, A main, every round.
Now they're having a technical issue. One of them DC'd.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it looks like everybody's getting technical issues here. We're gonna have to take another little pause this time for Akron. We get to see Crow POV, the French man himself, pulling weapons out of nowhere. Chamber. Now, if you look at the mini-map here, Micah, you see that teleport ability deeper in A main. Normally, players would have it right here, close up on the wall. And I think that's a sign of like a rookie chamber. And this adaptation not only helps against, you know, onslaughts of utility coming in, but especially against the tail, because good tails will missile you out. Speaking of missiles, here they come, and Crow early with the engagement swings. Does he get a tag onto the breach? No, he does not. Unfortunately, Atrium getting the first kill on Camino. Niku's refragging. Quickly grabs a bulldog drone coming into B, and it looks like the drone is going to clear out most of the site, and a link potentially spots the breach, baited out the vice wall. So we now know the vice wall is on B. Vikes Crow with the beautiful shot with the Outlaw. You know, normally you go for bodies, but that was a really good shot. One more bullet, 140 on the D10. Unfortunately, could not get the kill, but created the pressure. And now look at Cleveland State, proactive and going to C. All three here against Cursed. Cursed has to get at least one to get value here. Definitely doable, but unfortunately, Revy is going to get blooded. Unfortunate. Niku's trying to hold his bomb planner. Now in a 2v3 situation for Cleveland State. It looks like they are going to smoke water. Counter Omen smoke coming in. Vice retaking water solo on her own. Another smoke coming out. Paranoia starts to retake. Vice flash coming onto the site. There's one early kill by Niku's. Second, third kill by Niku's. And Levy Chevy getting the last kill on the curse and winning the bonus round.
The classic kill and getting to upgrade the guns. Nice.
Exactly. That is, I mean, that's such a good round for Cleveland State. If you look at their economy, I mean, they're thriving right now. You know, this is like at least one, potentially two good rounds of buying, assuming they lose. And now, unfortunately, Akron is going to be, you know, with their tails tucked between their legs, is going to have to buy deagles with a hero rifle on the atrium. Not much, but definitely not nothing. And so we'll see how this round plays out. Cleveland State with the rocket, with the showstopper. Early utility A again. Vikes Crow once again taking this early engagement. Niku's potential fight incoming on the Cursed. Walks up mountain. Does he spot him? Nice flick on the Cursed. Now it looks like they're walking in, slowing the pace down. It looks like we're baiting out the wall on B. A little bit of spotting. Camino with the stun out. Vice flash broken. Stun out. Stunned Vice. Running in. Exec on the C right now. Niku's with the blood on the Roggle. Free C bomb site and a safe plant. Levy Chevy unfortunately gets dropped by the hands of D10. Camino with the wide swing. Wide swings. Atrium gets the frag and Revy with the refrag. Vikes Crow opening the door. A little bit late. Rotating in, but good thing it's a 1v3 in favor of Cleveland State. Revy is talking, I'm going to swing off of you. Niku's gets his third on the round. I mean, this guy's going insane right now.
Yeah, that's what you love to see.
That's what you want out of your star duelist player. And I mean, we have, economy is thriving for Cleveland State. We have 3 big ultimates that we can use, 2 for an exec, and 1 to kind of, you know, throw a wrench into the defensive plans of Akron. And now we are seeing, you know, good weaponry. Shepard, Owen Ford, you know, kind of having a slow start to the game. Cleveland State opting to go B again, but unfortunately it looks like they might run into a trap play here. So let's see what Cleveland State has. Fall line coming in from Akron. Shepard gets the first blood on the Revy. None the wiser. Trading paint shells and gets away after the first frag. Vikes Crow, a little bit timid in A main, not really pushing up, expecting one person to walk out. It looks like Cleveland State are clearing the front of B main, spam onto the box, can't really find anything, trading Omen smokes in the front of B main, and Vikes Crow, proactive on A main, walking out, clearing all of yard. Rubble, it looks like that's a spot of worry, but Shepard is on this really tight line. Vikes Crow is about to walk into it, clearing his left, and walks into it. Shepard unfortunately misses, and that might be crucial to holding down the site. Showstopper coming in. Shepard hits a good shot on the Niku's, but again, Showstopper comes in and refrags himself. Vikes Crow going into breakable, hopefully catching D10 off guard. Of course he does.
That's hilarious.
Of course he does. He just walks into there. And then now it's a 3-on-3 retake for Akron. Let's see what they can do. Vikes Crow re-smoked off once again. 2 of his teammates are in tree. Drone spots both of them out. Paranoia coming in. Camino with the frag. Atrium with the refrag. Levy all on his own. Some 8 bullets. Can he do it? Getting tail ulted. Vikes Crow shot coming in. Levy getting 1. Roggle with the trade. 1v1 Roggle unfortunately kills Crow. Now it's a 1-4 for Cleveland State.
Yep.
I mean, wow. A bunch of ups and downs on that round, you know what I mean? Oh, first with the initial trap play, and then with the reclear and Shepard and Niku's little altercation on A. Unfortunately, he missed, but I mean, he got the shot in the end. He missed the easy shot and then hit the hard shot on the flying rays.
Hey, as long as he hit a shot.
Exactly. Now, speaking of ult economies from last round, if we look at Akron, you know, these guys are now pretty stacked on their ults, but really bad weaponry economy-wise. And so we'll see how this round plays out. Looks like Akron are opting for a C trap here. Ball line coming in with a Paranoia. Drone comes up, spots Shepard. Ball line coming out, Paranoia coming out, and a Showstopper all coming out. Counter fall line coming in.
Misses.
Perfect. Niku's gets 1. Shepard with the refrag. Levy Chevy TP's up on mound, blinded, but all is well. 4-4 at the end of it all, and Cleveland State have the space. Vikes Crow on a little fight right here against the enemy tail. Oh, jiggles, and unfortunately wins the gunfight on Atrium. It looks a little bit shaky. We open the door to help clear out the front of B. D10 with this judge. I mean, if Cleveland State walk into this, they are going to be in for a rude awakening. Walk clears coming out. Defensive fall line coming in for D10. So now that's out of the question for stall. And now it looks like Akron State are opting for a 1-1-1 type of setup. D10 running up with the shotgun as Levy Chevy gets put down. Cleared out with the missiles. Unfortunately has to take all of it. Vikes Crow with a really nice kill. And now Revy. Altercation 1v1 against D10 and his shotgun. Stun to keep him back. Shepard unfortunately catches Vikes Crow off on the flank. Revy swinging into them. Breachel coming out. But Revy gets 2. Oh my goodness. To close out the round. 1-5 in favor of Cleveland State. Holy crap. A lot of stuff coming in. I mean, C-Trap coming in. And the showstopper missed by Shepard. I mean, I would argue that's pretty hard to miss. But, I mean, you know, in the Val community, we call that a Rosa. I can't believe he just Rosa that. That's insane. Okay, moving forward, though. Again, Akron on the weak bye and economy just thriving for Cleveland State. As Cleveland State look to 3-0-2 towards C. TP across rubble for Levy. Taking the first engagement. Spots 1, potentially spots 2. Paranoid coming out. Avoids the fault line. He's getting aftershocked. And while Vikes Crow gets the first blood on Shepard. Holding his entire line. Flashed, but no push from the side of Akron. As Cleveland State on the opposite side of the map looked to clear front B. Akron looking to hold B as they cannot hold A. They have quite the read. They're going to get proactive this round, walking up front B. Cleveland State mid-round, calling teammates back to A is Levy Chevy. And it's a perfect round because Camino is the only one towards C as the rest of his entire team is on A, a free bomb site. Levy just running around like he owns the place. Unfortunately, though, Akron now have 1 rifle to play with, right? And this is still doable for Akron. Nikus is going to be the first line of defense for this post, but unfortunately gets caught off guard by the 1 rifle. Or is that the 2? Is the second rifle. Revy, second. Again, taking another 1. Jerome coming out. Fall line coming out. Is getting cleared out. Missiles coming out. Roggle getting the flank kill on the Crow. As now it's every man for themselves for the side of Cleveland State. Revy spotting 2, at least 2. Door coming in. Smoke. Stun coming in. Levy holding his main. Smoke's about to go out. Revy peeks into the smoke into 3 players. Ooh. None the wiser. D10 gets 3 on the round, and Atrium closes it out on CSU Levy here, making it 2-5 in favor of Cleveland State.
Yep, unfortunately, that is going to be giving Akron a couple more rifles.
Unfortunately, gave him a couple rifles, but I mean, you know, economy is kind of still good for Cleveland State. We can buy one, you know, request, I got you. But, I mean, I'm starting to see a little bit of faults in the post-plant scenarios. You know, everybody's starting to take a lot of 1s, and nobody's really playing off of each other, especially in that last round right there. We saw 2 different engagements, and unfortunately, it just all went to crap, you know? And so I expect a lot better as Akron starts out this round, 8? With an early A main space taking. Vikes Crow again A main sitting as the rest of his team look to get proactive on B. Jiggling is Niku's from B, trying to bait out this wall, and bait it out he does, but in trade of a little bit of his HP. Camino walking up C here with the help of Levy, looking to clear out utility, looking to prod a little bit, looking for vines on the ground. Jiggles unfortunately gets his head chipped off by Roggle. Paranoid comes out defensively and offensively as well, trading smokes on C. 1 lurk smoke, 1 main smoke, and it looks like the C hit is stalled for the moment. I don't know if it was a C hit or if it was just a prod. Aftershock coming in to potentially clear out 1 line. The second Omen smoke coming in from Cursed.
We are seeing a rotate over to A.
Exactly. A rotate over to A into the lines of Shepard here, who just jump spotted, and I'm pretty sure he just saw Vikes Crow. And now Akron are wise to this lurk, but probably unbeknownst of 4 behind Crow. Crow unfortunately gets killed. Atrium with the second kill on the Niku's. Flash coming in, swings, desperate to trade. Camino gets the trade, fortunately. He's low HP, so is Revy.
CSU needs to get in there. The spike's time's taken.
Exactly, 10 seconds and the spike is low. Unfortunately, this is going to be all she wrote for Cleveland State, as Akron are able, as Atrium is able to get 3 on the round, and it looks like Levy is going to have to save. 3-5 in favor of Cleveland State.
Okay, I thought Levy was gonna peek one more time.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty tough for him to swing there if he's like already committing to the save. Just as quickly as they were, you know, rushing into this round, they are going to have to take a timeout.
Alright, then we're back from the timeout, and can't wait to see how CSU has changed up their strategies. Although they are in the lead, they have lost some rounds in a row now. So they are going to need to hopefully up. Looks like it's going to be a hard push on A. Unfortunately, DTN is going to find 2.
Unfortunately, there is going to be a lot of trades here, but kills in the favor of Akron. Revy looking to try and get a refrag, not really getting anything. Revy walking up with the spike in hand, gets the kill on Atrium, catches him off guard, jumps up, but unfortunately Shepard is there to close it out on A. I mean, coming off the timeout, you know, I was hoping Cleveland State would just send in one person first and then re-clear that space, because these Akron guys have been getting a lot really comfortable on the A lines, and that is what's stopping Cleveland State from really hitting C, because now the Akron players they feel comfortable just holding this. Okay, let's just stack the other side of the map, you know, and they're gonna hard stall you guys out. And so what you guys need to do is really just shove utility down Akron's throat on A, and I think these guys will win. I mean, fortunately enough, it looks like they're throwing fake utility, you know, like same conditional utility on A, while there's a trap going on C. And right here, 5 Cleveland State players here on a main, clearing out all of the space. They're gonna soon know that the Vice is here, as there is no real contention from Akron. Drone coming out, clearing all of tree, going to site, and potentially even spotting the Vice. Aftershock coming in, it is a full site exec, as Cleveland State have the entire site. Niku's walking up, taking all this space like a duelist does. Levy Shabby getting into a little fight. Unheaven. Niku spots the head of a breach. Rocket coming in for Akron. Stun coming out. Counter breach ult to deny and delay the retake. Levy full stunned. Unfortunately could not get anything as he got spotted by Atrium. And Niku is getting caught off guard. Camino get with the refrag, but Atrium there to immediately get 3 on the round. Revy tries to do his best, but Rogel is there to beat him out on it.
Unfortunately, you don't want to see situations like that play out.
This is so unlucky because, I mean, it was what, 1-5 at one point, and now slowly but surely Akron are coming back into this game. Now the game is basically 0-0 now again. You know what I mean? 5-5 here, tied up is Akron to Cleveland State, as Cleveland State looks to, you know, hopefully pick up the pieces. You know, where did it all go wrong? You know, I'm starting to see potentially a little bit of tilt coming in from the team. You know, how are we getting picked off like this? How are we just getting man advantage and just going down? Now, Going into this round 11.
CSU doesn't have any ults to their name, so they're gonna have to be careful.
Yep, they're gonna have to be very careful because on the side of Akron they have 2 huge retake ults. They're just walking up yard, and it looks like Akron's a little bit confused. Are they trying to hold B, or are they trying to, you know, potentially they're going to retake both A and C. Opshock rattling from the side of Cursed and Stairs. Reposition immediately. Now, Vikes Crow on the angle, holding all the stairs, you know, switching between both angles. Akron looks to move over to A, potentially reading, you know, this might be a bomb site, but, I mean, Akron is ready for this. They have a counter strat set. They're going to retake. Breakable is open. Camino with the first engagement on the... Oh my goodness. Full stun kills Atrium after shocked out. Camino clearing the entire site. Just entry fragging for everybody. Breachel coming in, denying Cleveland State the plant. And it looks like Showstopper has to be popped. Unfortunately, it's a Rosa. Shepard getting the kill on Revy. Niku's with the trade. Camino with the kill on Roggle. Niku's with a kill on Curse. And Shepard refrags on the Vikes Crow. Niku's room botting out, clearing out. Shepard gets 3 on the round with a nice one tap on Levy. Now, Wilson. Niku's planting the bomb. Nades. Backs up. And now it looks like they're trying to hold it high-low. Nade coming in. Clears out Niku's and Pit. First engagement is Camino. Shepard with 4 on the round. Niku's 1v1. Unfortunately,
pushed out
cannot.
By his own satchel.
Exactly. Unfortunately, he could not close out the round as Shepard gets an ace to close out the round. I mean, that was a really good mid round from Cleveland State. You know, prodding around A and then going into breakable and just hitting B. They found the gap as Akron was ready to retake on A. You know, you saw 3 heaven, and if Cleveland State were to like, try to plant, thinking they had a free bomb site, no. They were going to get pummeled with utility. Going into round 12 here, Cleveland State, money's looking a little worse for wear. A Bulldog here, a Bucky there. For the most part, Vandals, but a little bit of light armor and such. Vikes Crow.
I think I saw 2 operators.
You did on the side of Akron? There's one right there. 3 on the side of A for Akron, and Vikes Crow picks out the op on the breach. I'm pretty sure it was a breach. And Cleveland State looked to run up mound, fake TP to cause some questions for Akron, but it looks like they're not really trying to hit. It's a little bit confusing out of Cleveland State. Are we hitting this or are we not? Vikes Crow jump spotting the A main line, sees that there's nobody really holding him, as there really is nobody holding him, and Akron has 4 players, matter of fact all 5 players near or on C.
Well,
ready for the retake.
The 2 initiators are going back over to A, waiting in case of a rotate.
Exactly, but unfortunately they chose the wrong time to rotate as Cleveland State are now execing and fully on the bomb site. As Shepard comes out with the showstopper, well, Camino gets 1, gets 2, potentially gets 3, but gets dropped by Curse. Atrium with the ult kill onto Levy. Revy having to try to pick up the pieces of where it all went wrong. Guiding Salvo is out, but decides to wait on the flank of Crow. Can we get the Crow POV? Gets unfortunately spotted and killed by Curse. Crouch 1 tap. Revy in a 1v3 situation. Omen is low. High-low to his right, 1 to his left. Jiggle spots 1 out, gets 1. Can he get 2? Unfortunately, he cannot get 2, and it is going to be a 7-5 half for Akron.
CSU was doing so well in the beginning, but then they lost 1 round and the momentum all failed.
Yes, exactly. The momentum failed. And I think it all started when Cleveland State kind of started second-guessing themselves. I really think they overcomplicated their situation, and I think they needed to just hit the sites, right? Because I like these little mid-rounds where, you know, the 1 round, they walked up A, full contact. They saw nothing. They took the space, drone through A, and then hit B. Caught Akron completely off guard, but I think most rounds, though, they were way too hesitant of what they wanted to do. As you saw last round, they wanted to exec out C. They really didn't, and they just kind of stuck around there. Now, going onto the defensive side for Cleveland State, it looks like we are going to get set with Niku's getting the early A line, literally running up and literally owning the space as there's no Akron players here for him. CSU Levy gets spotted out on C, calling and rotates, calls that it is a C site exec, fully flashed out, has to run to water for safety, and is now here with his teammates. 3 here, 4 here, but it looks like There is going to be 2 water and 2 going spawn for Cleveland State, as Akron are free to plant on the bomb site. Paranoia coming in for Akron, Vines coming in, Flash coming in. Nothing is going to stop these guys from trying to delay the retake from Cleveland State. Thorns coming out for Cleveland State as Vikes Crow licks a wall, trying to dodge a flash. As Akron push into Waterfall, taking the fight to Cleveland State, pushing them water, getting 3 frags. Revy and Vikes Crow tried all they could, but Atrium is there to close it out.
You hate to see it. Akron took the advantage of CSU waiting and just pushed them when they were least expecting it.
Exactly. Again, it's like the same story with Cleveland State. A lot of hesitancy, a lot of, okay, wait for me, let's do this. Sometimes I just really want to see a hero round out of these guys, right? I want to see you take charge, somebody initiate something. Yeah, Levy, you were, full blind and all that, but stay on the site. Try to get one, call for earlier rotate. We have the line on A. We don't need anybody else there. Going into the bonus round of Akron here, not the bonus, but the second purchase after the pistol, Levy is getting pummeled with utility early on as he is literally getting ran down on by Shepard. Cleveland State opening the door. Niku's with 2 nice shots, but D10 is there to trade it out as Revy and Crow. As Revy is solo retaking the C bomb site. Atrium spots him, and the guiding and the special delivery is going to stun him. Revy has the world on his shoulders, and unfortunately he cannot do it. Shepard closing out the round as it is a 9-5 deficit for Akron.
Yeah, you can see the scoreboard right now. CSU lost run around, and they kind of just killed the momentum. And now Akron's just on a winning streak.
Yes, and I mean, coming off that timeout, unfortunately, I try to help them with a potential play that they could have, an anti-strat to this team, but unfortunately it looks like we were on the same page. Going into this round, though, it looks like Reach is going to be solo B with the idea of a C-trap. Here's a couple of people running up on B. He kind of feels it like he's going to get bombarded by utility, so he ends up backing out. He has a fall line ready for the people on C mound, opening the door. Paranoia coming out, counter Paranoia coming out from D10, and Vikes Crow taking the early engagement. A couple of jiggle shots, getting spammed himself. Revy with the first line of contact against Roggle and C main as Akron look to keep prodding from B. It is all dependent on whether or not we get the first kill here, and of course we do. Camino with the first blood on the Shepard, who's been having a really good game, coming back. Atrium, unfortunately, with the Bulldog, owns Crow, and Roggle getting the kill on the Levy. I mean, these are the type of, gunfights that are kind of start to seep in the tilt as Akron look to just exec onto a free bomb site on C. Revy, again, has the world to do.
Camino,
oh my goodness.
One with Niku's fighting another.
And Roggle getting the trade. Camino with the fault line coming out. They're 2 separated players. He is thorned off at the moment, so really delayed. Now, Revy in a 1v2 and gets both kills with headshots.
Revy just hits shot. He just walk in, click heads.
I know. This guy is they're just literally walking in his crosshair, it looks like. He didn't even take a lick of damage. And those last 2 kills were really good with the defuse. He's getting his annihilation on the board. A really good piece of retake utility coming on board for Cleveland State, as rough money is going to put them at a gun disadvantage, so this annihilation should really help them in the hopes of retaking potentially, or even just full out fighting them. Cleveland State looking to leave their Omens as a solo C anchor with a really heavy A fight. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be the wrong gamble for Cleveland State as Akron look to fight C. Fall Light coming out, setting 2 people on the line A. Raised looks to leave, leaving Chamber on the line. Levy is calming. I'm getting droned out. Smoking, Paranoia to delay. He has it out. Lurch smoke potentially being thrown. No, full site exec smokes are being thrown on the side of Akron, but they're not really doing anything. They're just sitting outside C mound, looking for the smoke to dissipate, hoping for Cleveland State to make a mistake. Flash coming in. Levy
knocking them back a little bit.
Exactly. And now we have the Steel Garden coming in for the side of Akron. Levy looks to take a shot. Shepard, unfortunately, first blood's Camino. Hurst getting caught off guard. Revy getting caught off guard by Curse, and one more on the front B. Levy with the world to do and 2 bullets to do it. Flash coming in. Swings bend. Unfortunately, Atrium is going to sit him down. D10 gets the frag on Niku's, and Vikes Crow in a 1v5 scenario. I mean,
and they know exactly where he's at.
Exactly. Gets the first one. Gets the second one. Can he get more?
No,
there is 3 holding him.
Literally a triangle.
If he can somehow clutch this up, I'm willing to shave my head.
They would have to do a cartoon outline of him for Crow to clutch this.
They would have to literally go blind mid-round for him to win this, but unfortunately, it looks like he's going to opt to save as Akron take back around, and it is now 10-6 in favor of Akron. No timeout coming here for the side of Cleveland State. I would argue that this is a good round to do so, but it looks like they have a game plan coming into this. Vikes Crow with the operator online.
Banking it on Crow being able to hit the shots. Let's see if we can do it.
I'm confident in this guy to do it. I mean, when Cleveland State needs a star player to come up, besides Niku's, who's a consistent fragger, Vikes Crow can whip out some of the most insane shots you've ever seen. And it looks like, for the side of Akron, it looks like they're going to be defaulting. Levy breaking the drone for him, getting him set up on the line. Unfortunately, it looks like Akron are somehow anti-stratting this as they look to push A with a bunch of utility. Oh my goodness. Annihilation and Stun coming in. Niku's with the first blood. Curse getting a refrag, but Revy right there on his heels to refrag him. Camino up close on route. Flash coming out from the side of Akron. Camino first line of contact right here. Looks up on the route. Can he spot one? No. Atrium is the first one to spot him. Revy, it has to back up. Tail tuck between his legs. He cannot do anything here. Oh, look, goes for reswing. Tries to make me bite my tongue. Guided salvo coming in to delay the entry onto the site. And it looks like Atrium has caught a mean timing as Revy and Levy look to retake from heaven. They're just guns out. Levy gets 2. Is he aware of the fact that he's getting flanked? No. Atrium gets 1. And unfortunately, cannot get Revy as Revy's just running around the bomb site. Hears all this noise. Understand that he's going drop. Has to give out bomb here. Crow coming in holding the front sight angle for Revy as Revy is behind his box, tucked, looking to hold. Crow inching closer and closer. He has a sight line. There's a perfect cross. X lines between the two.
Oh, but he turns around. No, he's in tree.
Turns around, unscoped. Revy is getting spotted, and Vikes Crow is there with the op to close out the round. Oh my god. I mean, can you believe being Akron there and holding for the swing and Levy literally just swinging you and getting and just fragging both of you? I mean, he literally pied. he had 3 kills and 14 deaths. He pied, and or did he have 4? Let me bite my tongue here. I think he pied, but I mean, it doesn't matter. He just hero clutched them that round by getting the 2 kills. 2 huge ults on the side of Akron and a showstopper for the side of Cleveland State in order to stop. Looks like they are doing a similar setup. Vikes Crow in the front B angle now as Shepard gets fragged out by Vikes Crow. Annihilation coming on from the side of Akron, but it goes to waste because they are being stalled. Camino taking a fight on the door. Niku's getting the kill on Curse. Revy with 2 gets refragged. D10 getting 2 himself on Camino and Vikes Crow. And he opens the door and goes running to C. Revy picks up a new gun. Opts to get his gun back. D10 with the free plant. He has his breach ult. It looks like Cleveland State are going to, pack up here as D10 is just running around. He has a flash out, flashing, trying to angle out, potentially, hopefully getting 1. Seeing nothing. 2 on the side of Ben as 1 is holding front sight. Gets spotted. D10 gets 3 on the round, and Niku's is there to close it out. Wow. I mean, what a really good anti-strat that round. I mean, a good gamble. Putting the Opper on the front B line, getting that kill on the Shepard who has been frying this entire game, with the ace and whatnot, and getting him out of the picture immediately is really good out of Vikes Crow.
Yep, and speaking of Op, I'm pretty sure they stalled the defuse in order to go grab it back from the other side.
So we still have an op on the board for Cleveland State. I mean, it doesn't matter as, he has his tour de force as well online if need be. But it looks like he's not going to do it. Looks like a standard set up for Cleveland State with an Opper on C now, holding the line, as it looks like Akron is preparing for a complete onslaught onto the B bomb site.
They might just be running it down middle.
A fall line coming out, Camino inside all of it, a Judge, fall line, stunned, blind, in the smoke in front of him. He does not know there are multiple people. Judge getting one, cannot get another one. HM getting the refrag. Vikes Crow in the smoke. Revy just has nowhere to go. Showstopper coming out of Wilson, gets one. HM with the refrag. Vikes Crow getting the refrag onto D10 in a 2v1 scenario. Oh, HM gets spotted. Vikes Crow sees it. He has a line. Deagle out, up out. Oh my goodness, keep one gun out, sees him, and a snappy shot to get the kill on HM. 10-9 for Cleveland State. We are bringing this back, ladies and gentlemen. Slowly, I mean, really good job by Camino there. I'm gonna let you take care of this. I'll be right back.
Yep, I see a timeout coming from Akron, and yep, they're realizing CSU starting to pull it back.
That's a good spot.
Alrighty then. We do see CSU setting up a little more defensively on the C and B side. Akron is gonna be might be not full pushing, but is probably gonna be pushing it down C.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back as the guiding salvos immediately come out from Akron to clear out the Opper, getting the trademark out of the way, so the trip is now gone on B. Cleveland State are going to have to keep at least one person. Smoke coming in for C main, as there are 3 Akron players behind it. Akron are looking to take things slow for once. They are going to default out, feel out the round. But if we look at A bomb site here, I mean, we have one heck of a spot out of Niku's here, and on top of rubble, holding all of A, like he owns the place. A little bit of jiggle, whoa, swinging, and unfortunately he gets caught off by D10, and now that is the bomb site as Akron look to take the entire space.
And Akron has the op now if they want to pick that up.
Exactly, now they have the op on board. But I mean, it looks like Akron are looking to push into spawn. One way coming in, drone count coming in with a breach ult, with a counter breach ult coming in. Guided salvos coming out on the side of Akron, clearing out anybody who's playing back hall. And now Cleveland State have the space. What are they going to do? No breach ult to take the site, unfortunately, as Akron look to go and play post with missiles on mound. Coming in, a tap coming in. Lots of gunfire. Shepard getting the first blood. Camino refrag. Camino looking to get another one. Unfortunately, cannot, as Cleveland State close out the round. As Atrium close out the round, making it 11-9 for Akron.
Yep.
It looks like, you know, coming off that timeout, it looks like they had the A bomb site, but Crow is doing a bad job of just staying on the line. I mean, at some point we saw he was no-scoped on C site, holding a whole lot of nothing. And I mean, I personally would not want my Opper just holding a whole lot of nothing. I need him aggro, holding this line, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Tour de Force coming out. Akron missiling him out, but now Vikes Crow just running up instead.
He's gonna get droned.
Unfortunately, he gets droned out, and so now Akron know that, you know, the Opper is here, the Tour de Force is here, as Revy and both Revy and Camino and Niku's
Kurt's just
killed.
Clearing out A site. That's going to cause all of Akron to rotate immediately over. Forget C. A's open.
Exactly. It's an open invitation to A, let alone B. I mean, like, look, he's walking. Rogel is just walking into B, cutting off all potential rotates as Levy and Crow are here left to pick up the pieces. I mean, I don't know. It's just hard, you know. It was a 1v3 in A main. I think they played it well, pushing it together, but I think they took 3 different separate ones, and that is what cost them the round. You know, one by one. Curse is getting 1 kill. Curse is getting another. And then immediate refrag. Oh, Crow looking to try and bring things back with Levy here. Getting the first blood onto Atrium. Levy, fake teleport.
Unfortunately, isn't looking at the right angle, and
Curse gets 4 on the round, and Shepard is there to close it out, making it a 3-round deficit for Akron and match point for Akron. I mean, things were going so well for Cleveland State, but Akron, you know, getting the Opera off the line, timeout coming in, so I will be right back.
oh, that triple kill though, oh, that was not good for the mental, and it's going into match point now, so CSU is gonna have to be careful.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Alright, then we are seeing CSU being a little more defensive this time, while Akron was initially on C, full rotate over to A.
Ball line coming in on the side of Akron. Vikes curl on the op line right here. Gets flashed, but he opts to stay here. Gets 1 shot. Unfortunately, he cannot teleport out. Or he just forgot to click his teleport button. He does get the first blood though, as it is now a 4v4 retake for Cleveland State. Salvo's coming out to deny the plant as D10 looks to get active on Heaven here. Thorns on stairs, cannot get anything done. Ult coming in, Camino gets a refrag. Annihilation coming from Akron as well as Atrium gets 2. Rago with the last kill on the Camino. And it is now up to Wilson in a 1v3, gets spotted out, and unfortunately he cannot close it out. I mean, it is a loss. Unfortunately, heartbreaking as Cleveland State were up. And I mean, going forward, I mean, I think Cleveland State now know what they need to do. You know what I mean? They need to play together more, stop getting so many ones, maybe potentially just stop hesitating on anything that they're doing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you the casting here again, Micah, as I go talk to the boys real quick, okay?
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate series of events. CSU had a great lead in the beginning, but then Akron, they just locked in. What can I say?
All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the CVAL. What is it? Finals, right? Yeah. Cleveland State versus Akron here. Big game as Akron took lead on this BO5 by getting the win on the Cleveland State in an upsetting 13-9 loss for Cleveland State. Going forward in a fracture here, we are going to see kind of like a little bit of a switch here. Cleveland State are opting for a much more traditional sentinel for Vikes Crow in the hands of Cypher here, and it looks like for Akron they're going to choose Chamber. You know, this might be maybe a comfort thing, or it might be like how I talked about before, a precedence thing. He's going to swing everything, and he's going to make sure you know that he's better than you. And
yeah, especially after that triple kill last game.
Yep. And I mean, Shepard being, you know, their Rays, you know, really putting up big numbers, getting a nice ace clutch on a Cleveland State, that could potentially strike fear into the hearts of anybody. But hopefully Cleveland State here are resilient, and they are going to show that here as they look to set up for, you know, a normal fracture default. A main space is going to be fought for like hell here. Revy with the guy to salvos lined up to go to A main as Vikes Crow looks to set up on B and is going to walk up. Niku's with the first engagement. Shepard immediately getting pushed off the line as Akron look to run straight to B, as it looks like Levy and Crow are exploring the opposite side of B here. They take all of drop and arcade. Niku's gets droned out, and it looks like the trip got broken, and so now we are being called back. You know, we cleared out all of drop. We have a main space. The only space that they could be at is where? B, right? On the opposite side of the map. D10 with a nice line as Levy gets caught off guard by Shepard under the map. As Vikes Crow is now getting ran down upon. Fall line coming in. Gets the kill somehow. Full stun. 6 bullets is getting bombarded by both sides of the site here. Camino with the nice refrag. D10 gets one more kill. Revy looking to tap, and that's the bomb. Guided salvos out. D10 gets the trade on Niku's. D10 gets 2, 3.
Unfortunately, he's gonna get stunned.
Revy is going to get stunned. Reload. He's missing everything. Swinging into.
Unfortunately, swings into the deagle.
And is going to get one tap to get put down. To making it 0-1 for the side of Akron here. D10 with a nice little opener pistol. You know, really saying, you know, last map I was put on breach, but this map I'm on jet. I'm going to swing you guys, and I'm gonna make sure you know that, you know, this was my potential the whole time. Cleveland State had 2 deagles, 1 in the hand of Camino with full utility, as they look like they are going to take drop. 5 Akron players in A main though. Unfortunately, these guys are not going to be able to hear the 5 players A main, as Akron looks to literally just run these guys down on A site. Close Omen smoke. I should realize they have an Omen instead of a Brim. Cleveland State crunching all of north side, understanding now that Akron has all of A, and that they are going to have to play retake. Niku's walking up into the line of sight. Atrium planning, stunned, fault line. Guided salvos coming in and gets the kill. D10 getting the kill on Camino. Review gets a kill on D10, and Shepard unfortunately gets the kill on Crow. Niku is getting spotted by Roggle in the smoke as Levy has a weird but good potential timing. No,
unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. And Levy is going to fall. The hands are cursed, making it 0-2 for Akron. But I mean, honestly, that was worth it for Cleveland State, in my opinion, because that's a lot of damage that they did to Akron players. Look, they now have a weird buy, you know, 2 rifles, if you could even call it that, semi-rifles, if anything, a Spectre, and a Deagle. You know, really lesser weaponry, if you think about it. And it looks like Cleveland State are going to be pushing B main, and it looks like,
unfortunately, though,
Akron's
over at A.
Exactly.
On the other side.
Yeah, drop too. Dish. Vikes Crow spotting 1. Spotting 2 with audio cues. Getting stunned and unfortunately gets caught off guard as he tries to take a solo fight. And Annihilation coming in from... Oh my goodness. Revy getting 1 onto D10. Immediately trades the gun. Droning feeling the pressure as Atrium is going to get the plant down safe for Akron. Camino looks to have a flash out with Curse having a paranoia. Flash coming in. Paranoia coming in. Shepard getting the kill onto Niku's. Shepard getting 2. Revy with the trade. Now it is all up to Camino to do a 1v3 retake. Drone coming out, spotting him out. Already wasted the fall line, so no chance of him stopping any push. Nice little shot on the Roggle, as now it is a 1v1 with a mean crossfire.
1v2.
Oh, 1v2, sorry. He jiggles one out, unfortunately cannot get the other.
If it was a 1v1, we would have won there, but...
Oh my god, I started on my words there. It was a 1v2. I mean, that's just hard. So hard to hold. You know, your Sentinel getting caught off guard. It looks like he wanted to hold the space drop, but also kind of, you know, wanted to back out. Unfortunately, it was too late as he got stunned up. Potentially not even being aware of the fact that if you see a duelist, you know, you're going to see initiators behind them, and more importantly, initiator utility. Unfortunately, he did not recognize that. And going into round 4 here, Cleveland State looked to default, not doing anything crazy. Shepard pops the Tour de 4 immediately. Onslaught rush on the B bomb site here. Crow sitting behind the smoke is going to try to delay as Shepard now walks up arcade with the Tour de 4 and immediately gets sapped by CSU Levy with a nice shot. Now is D10 walking up close under tunnels. There's 2 waiting for D10 right here. Crow, unfortunately, is going to be the only one here now. One shot, D10 backs up, and so is Crow. No smokes is going to catch Crow off guard as there are 3 Akron players in B main. Hearst getting the bomb plan down. Tour de 4 Guided Salvo's coming in, but a little bit too late. Camino getting stalled out in Gen here. Niku's having to do it all. Looking to throw out his nade. Roggle with the flash coming in. Nade coming in. Not really seeing anything. And nobody's peeking because D10 has the line. And Atrium gets 1 on the Revy. Camino gets 1. Nice little shot, but unfortunately Curse is going to shut that down. It looks like Cleveland State isn't really getting any reads on this map. You know, it looks like Akron is going to literally the opposite side of the map of Cleveland State every time. You know, Cleveland State look to default A main. Akron are somehow are B main. You know what I mean? And once again, default wise, it looks like Cleveland State is going to default again. Crow is going to be playing this B bomb site like he normally does with the help of Levy here, slowing down B main. Early cam, as there seems to be nothing here. Shepard unfortunately gets the kill on the Niku's, not really waiting for the guided salvos. Doesn't understand that it's, you know, delayed because he is throwing them from drop. Crow's trip is going to get broken B main as the Akron players are leaving. Shepard, who was A main, is now about to literally just swing out of a smoke B main. Lovey with the ping, understanding that, you know, there's a bit of pressure here as Camino is the only person holding a bomb site, let alone a main, against finds 2 somehow and gets traded by HM in the end. Calling rotates as Shepard is now calling his own rotates back to B. Revy calling a slow down from Akron as Akron players look to find a B bomb site that is completely empty. Crow looks to be a little bit wise to this, calling out the Omen smoke. Guided Salvo's coming in, calling in a rotate now. Paranoid coming out for Gen as Crow cannot do anything to stop the plan. Potentially going for a spray here. Finds nothing right here. Omen and B main. Shepard is, what is that, under? Or is that arcade? HGM getting a nice 1 tap on a Crow as Levy gets 1 himself. Shepard is TPing out. Levy just running out in the open, unaware of B main. No smokes to, you know, smoke off the bomb here as it is planned for B main. Takes the 1 onto Curse. A little bit of whiffing here as Shepard gets 1 on the Revy. And now it is a 1v2 as it is all down to the IGL of Cleveland State to get nice 1 kill, but unfortunately the molly misses and he cannot do anything to stop Shepard swinging. 0-5 Akron in this BO5.
Just barely missed the Molotov.
Unfortunately, you know, that molly did not go where he wanted to be. Otherwise, that round could have potentially been different. Cleveland State not opting to call a timeout here as they are on the weaker weaponry, which kind of surprised me. Maybe a little bit of tilt is coming in. Wilson Niku is not really, you know, getting active. You know, he's been constantly getting shut down as Cleveland State look to push more towards B main, getting Crow active on B here. No Cam, he's just wide swinging this as Akron pushed the opposite side of B here on Arcade. Niku solo A main, understands that if he dies here, this could be bad, but fortunately for him, there's nothing behind that. Levy swings into 1, 2, is getting ran down on in tower here as he struggles to figure out what utility he wants, but he wants the gun. He wants to get 3. Gets blinded, but it is up to Curse to now get 2 here on to Levy and Camino as Crow is going to hide here in a really peculiar spot. Hiding behind both of his trips, giving the bomb site for free. Revy flanking Shepard as Niku's peeks out Jen to help Vikes Crow. Vikes Crow taking a 1, jumping up. Shots are labored, but Curse finally puts an end to Vikes Crow's shenanigans. Revy on the flank. Does he spot him? No, unfortunately, he gets caught off guard by Shepard under the site. Nikus hears all of this running up, gets 2 shots in, 3 shots, but unfortunately cannot close it out as Curse gets 4 on the round to close it out, making it a 6-round deficit in favor of Akron, and Cleveland State are down 0 kills. Yep. I will be right back.
Ooh, you hate to see that series of events.
This is a nice spot. Yes, this should do. This goes here. That goes there. Oh, this is
alright, then CSU Crow setting up on B side. We are going to see Akron playing a little slower this time.
You were right, Micah. A little bit slower this time as it looks like Cleveland State themselves, you know, are going to play pretty slow themselves. It looks like they are finally rotating to the right side, or the right spot on the map. Niku's really aggro, but does not realize that there are 5 Akron players right here waiting to get him. One gets 1, almost gets the second. Shepard unfortunately has to trade out. Annihilation is being used by Revy in order to stall the A main push. Shepard on a zip line, having fun going to the north side of the map. Revy, guided salvo is coming out to stall a main push again. Now it is a 2-2 on both sides of the map, which honestly I like. It's a really good adaptation from Cleveland State. Understanding that, okay, just because they see a lot of noise doesn't mean we are going to rotate quickly. As exec smokes come out from Curse for B, and Camino in the face of it all, full utility, but he runs up in front of a trip and unfortunately gets caught off guard by the guy. Tower, Bike Stroke getting 1, getting 2, getting 3 onto the round, as it is now a 2v1 for Cleveland State. The best, you know, round that I've seen out of them so far. As Curse, he has his TP. He's going to ult the bomb, and he is going to get it and go A.
They don't. No.
And Cleveland State are none the wiser. He has a hat, but he's not going to use it. Curse gets the plant down in time, as it is now a post-plant 1v2 for Curse. Curse, he hears 1. Fake TP somewhere. Camp coming out. Doesn't really spot anything. Running out is Vikes Crow, as Levy is kind of baiting him for info. Runs out now. It's a 1v1. choosing the right spot for the post plant here. 1v1, jiggles main, or default, taps the bomb. Curse now has a lot to do on his plate. Levy, thinking that he's on site, but he's not. Molly coming out as Curse did not really plan for himself, and so he is just trying to spam.
He gets it.
He gets the spam. Levy did not go on like the outer edge of the box, otherwise he would have been able to stake that. That is heartbreaking for Cleveland State as they lose their 7th round in a row to Akron.
Oh yeah, this is not what you want to see.
This is not what you want to see, but actually, on the contrary, I think what you want to see is like how they played that early round and that mid round. You know, it's unfortunate Niku's, you know, ran into 5, but he got 1. And it looked like they gambled the right site. It looks like, unfortunately, Camino, you know, he had full utility, but opted to fight up instead. Niku is swinging. Shepard, understanding now, you know, what the guided salvos are for. They're to clear him out. He's not going to he's going to re-swing that, but unfortunately,
it pays off, unfortunately.
It pays off. Rago is going to get Levy as Vikes Crow has the world on his shoulders. Atrium spamming him through the smoke. Vikes Crow in the face of 1 gets 1. Spots Curse as Cage chipped down all the way to 5 HP. Paranoid coming out does not get, unfortunately, but the flash does as Atrium clears him out. Revy on the flank. Arcade is now spotted. Atrium, the first line of contact as the drone comes out. Drone does not tag him, so he's not surprised. He has full kit. This, dare I say, is winnable, but I mean, I don't know. I think this is the world on his shoulders, you know. It just comes down to, oh my goodness, nice shot there.
Switches over to the Phantom.
You know, this is too hard. There are 2 ults on the side of Akron. They're not even going to use it. They don't even use those to take the sites anymore. They're using them for post plan, if anything.
Yeah,
you know,
he's just going to be saving, it seems like.
Yeah, he's going to have to opt to save, because realistically, what is there for him to do here? Nothing. He can't do anything besides get his, which he did already. 0-8 in favor of Akron, as the lead grows farther and farther. Cleveland State looking to pick up the pieces, wondering where it all went wrong. Did it start from Lotus, or are they facing a team that is, you know, has really scrimmed this map, understands what they're doing? You know, if anything, chemistry is a big factor for this team. Yep. Cleveland State looking to play normal, leaving Niku's on the line. Guided salvos coming in, drone coming in for a main as Niku spots it, breaks it. Shepard, unfortunately, getting the kill on the Revy on drop. Niku is going to take a 1v1 against Shepard as he's literally getting ran down on all sides of the map. Sand, main, and drop. Gets 1 with a nice aim, but unfortunately Rogel and Niku's are going, and Atrium are going to take down the A site players as it is up to Levy and Crow to, you know, I would say try to win this round. You have to get 1 round on the board to get anything initiated. Unfortunately, it looks like Akron are aware of it. They have all their bases covered. Levy potentially Levy with a Bucky and drop, potentially just playing post. He hears 1 jump up. Fault line coming in. Vikes Crow with a nice shot on the Shepard, who's overheating a little bit, but it doesn't matter as Rogel puts it down to a 1v3. Levy facing 1 is literally getting bunny hopped, fakes the noise to run away as Rogel is just throwing another right click in the smoke because why not? I might as well. I'm up 9 rounds.
He's just gonna take the bomb.
Unfortunately, he does tank the bomb, and it is now an even bigger lead for Akron as they have 9 rounds on a slowly but surely tilting Cleveland State side.
And we are gonna be seeing Shepard with the operator now.
Shepard with the operator online. I mean, now this is, if you thought he threw a wrench into the defensive of Cleveland State before, I think now he's going to be a massive pain for Cleveland State. Fortunately for them, though, they are fighting A main or B main as Shepard is on the A line with 5 players behind him, and
Nick
Niku's with a nice B push, getting one, coming to his team that, you know, there might potentially be more, but it looks like Cleveland State are a little bit confused, you know. Two Teos,
by each other.
yeah, trading drones out as Paranoia comes out, fighting Sand solo. Vikes Crow with a nice kill. Padding. This is now going to upset all of Akron's plans as all 3 enemy players are spotted. Breach is solo on the B-bomb site, and there is 4 Cleveland State players holding for the A main push. One swing, Levy putting down Shepard with a nice little body shot there. Revy, Guided Salvos opening the door, clearing areas. We see the bomb. We have line of sight on the bomb as all 5 players of Cleveland State are going to be near A. Levy taking charge, taking matters in his own hands, setting down Atrium and getting the last kill on Naroggle as Revy picks up a really crucial, potentially crucial operator.
CSU getting around now, but there's only 2 rounds left in this half. Let's hope they can at least win them.
If they can get these last 2 rounds, I'm willing to believe in the 9-3 curse. I'm willing to believe that Cleveland State somehow, some way can bring this map back. I mean, they would have to play dang near flawless, but I'm willing to believe in these guys. Revy looks like he's going to be opping with a little bit of help as now Cleveland State choose the right main to fight. They fault line. Niku's getting fault line or satching all the way up, getting 1, getting potentially 2. No, the spray's not that good. HCM getting the annihilation kill. The refrag and D10 getting 1 onto Levy as now it is a free bomb site for Akron once again. And I mean, you know, it's the same story it feels like almost every round. It looks like there is 2 players retaking. Vikes Crow wanting to do it all himself, going for it as Revy is looking to save the op, holding a really defensive line, trying to save the op. Crow trying to run away. He's getting chased down by D10 and Shepard right here. He swings into the line and Shepard gets the kill on him.
He's just running for his life, trying to keep the operator away.
He's trying to get the operator, misses a couple of shots here, is now gonna get crunched, misses 4 shots, he's getting jiggled out, gets 1, but unfortunately that's not what you want to see here, Micah.
Shepard reclaiming the operator.
Yep, reclaiming the operators, and unfortunately it is a 1-10 9-round deficit for Akron.
Ideally, CSU wins this round so that they're not in as much trouble for the next half.
But I mean, we're going to have to see how this round plays out. If they can get this round with 2 big ults on their side, Cleveland State here, then I think it's doable. You know, now the question is, are they going to play retake or are they going to push up? And it looks like Cleveland State are going to push up with the conditional fault line going towards B, and Levy and Niku is pushing up Arcade, taking all of the space as Crow is here holding the opposite side of the map. Camp coming out, spots 2, potentially even 3. Updraft coming in, exec utility coming out, D10 literally just running into the site, gets hit by the tripwire, unfortunately gets broken. Vikes Crow running for his life, is not knowing how many people are here. Camino with a huge fault line coming out. Niku's getting 1, counter fault line being traded, or ult coming. Niku's literally running up, getting 1 first troubles as Cleveland State are man advantage. 3-man advantage up. Levy, Molly out, but unfortunately gets caught off guard by D10 as D10 with the blades trying to go for this 1v3. Camino with a nice little 1-tap, you know, little burst to close out this half.
Okay, CSU, they was able to secure that they don't have to worry this much about the pistol round.
I think that round, I mean, you know, I know that round was the best round that they've had all game as of right now. I mean, I'm hoping to see that Cleveland State can pull out something offensively. I feel like this map is a lot easier for attacking teams, as, you know, how Akron did it. You can push and pull, rotate. You can create a lot of question marks, as we call it, magnets around the map. You know, I'm making a lot of pressure A main, you know, now that's going to keep at least 1 person there and keep them guessing, you know. Are they still here? What are they doing? As Cleveland State going into round 13 here, look to 4-man push drop, as it looks like a potential literal drop split here. 4-1 with Crow A main by himself, shifting all the way up. Crow aware, you know, holding both sides of his flank. As Camino, fault line coming out, exec utility coming out for the side of Cleveland State, finds D10, caught him lacking, gets us kill on a full stun jet. Niku setting a precedent. I'm going to own you guys A main. Nice little anti-strat from Cleveland State here. Niku's with 3 Akron players in front of him, gets 1. Vikes Crow gets 2 himself. Camino getting the final kill on the Roggle for a flawless Cleveland State pistol. I mean, Micah, dare I say it? This is doable. This is winnable.
It's comeback season. That's
this comeback season is what it is, because I mean, flawless. That is, you know, if I'm Akron, realistically, I'm not really thinking much of it. They can have the pistol. I'm up 7 rounds, but it starts with 1. You know, snowballing slowly but surely. You don't want to let these Cleveland State players get out of hand. And if I'm Akron, I'm doing everything I can to, you know, shut them down. And it looks like Akron are going to gamble stack B, leaving Shepard all by his lonesome because they know he's good for it. Jiggled? Not really.
With the drone.
He jiggled with the drone, but didn't really clear him out. But that works wonders because now Akron are left guessing and caught Roggle off guard. Unfortunately, though, for Cleveland State, there's 3 players still here as Camino just runs into the right-click classic of D10. Atrium getting the refrag onto Niku's curse, getting one onto Levy. Crow running out, none the wiser, but Revy has his back, holding the off angles for him. Crow having to plant the bomb.
Was flicking around looking for someone.
I know, he was looking for a reason, looking for somebody to fight him. Has to tank at least 1 hit of the salvos. Revy, special delivery in the tower. They're going to 2v1 Atrium, swinging, and Atrium unfortunately gets 1. 9 HP. A 1v1 on the Shepherd. You know, this guy's good for it. He has his deagle shots out, so 1 is all it takes here.
Yeah.
No, leg shot, body shot, it does not matter. Crow with a cage and a cam for info, but it looks like he's going to just hold angles and wait for the bomb tap. Here's him running. Here's Shepherd throw down his trip. Running up. Baits it out.
He's taking it.
Oh, it doesn't know.
Taps it that
Shepherd's
time.
tapped.
Ooh.
He swings and unfortunately
And
misplays.
Wait. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Point-
0.60 milliseconds.
Yep.
Just a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer, and he could have won. A lot of hesitancy out of him. Was he going to place the cam, or was he going to swing? Shepard, with all the confidence in the world, literally just 6 half. He's like, you know, I'm not going to wait for you. You're 9 HP. It doesn't matter to me. I'm better than you. I'm going to stick this. And unfortunately, you know, Crow, you hate to see it, but name of the game here is just hesitancy out of Cleveland State. Going into this round, though, it looks like Cleveland State are going to fight for A main. Defensive guided salvos coming in, delaying this take with the outlaw right behind the smoke. It looks like they're going to flash. No shots coming out of Shepard. He's going to reswing. Guided salvos. Potentially takes it. Even a nade. Special delivery coming from the defensive side as 4 Cleveland State players are full blind. HGM getting 1 Niku's with the refrag. Vikes Crow having a little staring contest with the trip. Breaks it. Revy getting a nice kill on the Roggle. Now, not backing down. Cleveland State. Guided salvo coming in. 2 players with outlaws. Suck, but it's really nice shots out of Cleveland State. Yep. In fact, if guns don't do it for us, the D goes well. Thrifty round out of Cleveland State. Into 4 defensive players on Akron on A site. I mean, if you talk about crazy rounds, I mean, how was that round possible? You know what I mean?
They were able to hit their shots.
I mean, I guess so, Micah. They were definitely able to hit their shots. And fortunately for Cleveland State, we are able to bring this round deficit a little bit closer in our favor. Revy with the outlaw. It looks like he's going to drop bomb for Levy. He's going to take the bomb as it looks like they want to go towards arcade. Nothing in main as the defensive guided salvos come in. And D10 is literally just aggroing, taking that space. Vikes Crow looks to pair up with Revy as Revy is going to go back in main with the outlaws holding it. Just wait. They're just waiting for some defensive players out of Akron to just walk into their sidelines. And I mean, here we go. The engagement A main is going to be brutal here. as Camino just slowly working his way up. Revy getting a nice shot on the D10, catching him off guard. Camino unaware of the off angle as Shepard gets 2. He doesn't even TP away. He's still on top of there. He has his TP still set. He can go for a reswing, which he's going to do. As Levy is currently being held, but fortunately for Cleveland State, they are able to stop this man. Vikes Crow on the bomb site, holding a little bit of off angle. Cam out, spots one gen. Guided Salvo's coming in to stop the plant. So is the fault line. Revy getting a nice kill. HM unfortunately getting the kill on the Levy here, as it is a 2v2 scenario. Falling flash coming out, and Revy's shots don't connect onto a 1 HP Roggle. Flash coming out. He has 2 shots again. Nice shot. Getting 3 on the round on the HM. Vikes Crow jiggling out. Does not understand that there's a flank. And unfortunately is going to get flanked by a 1 HP Roggle. Revy with the guided salvos coming in for a tap. Double. Roggle has to get off. Revy is going to invest Annihilation in this round. Why would he?
That was 100% a misclick.
That was a misclick, and you hate to see it because now there is no Annihilation going into this next round for Cleveland.
He's still standing still. You know he's definitely upset about that.
That is definitely one to be upset about, and that is definitely one to be glad about for Akron as we move into round 17 of Fracture. Cleveland State bringing it back so far on this offensive side. Levy here looking to call for a little bit of an aggro play towards Dish, and it looks like Akron are going to play a little bit back. You know what I mean? They are realizing Cleveland State can have the space. You know, we're up rounds. We're just gonna play the bomb site as Shepard.
That timing.
He cannot TP out. He cannot TP out. He's surprised. Swing 3, 2, 1 swing, and Shepard gets 1, unfortunately, as Levy is there to forcing clear and trade him out, as Cleveland State don't really want to continue this drop push. Levy, realizing there's an op now on B, smokes himself off and is working up the space. D10 is going to go towards Arcade as Atrium spots Levy jump spotting around. And it is 2-2 on each bomb site defensively for Akron. And Cleveland State look to lean towards B. Levy is here calling for a potential aggro. Vikes Crow coming in hot right here in Arcade. Guided Salvos coming in to delay. Vikes Crow potentially peeking into the lines of it up here. Forcing, not aware that they could be behind the box. Looks like it was a fake. It was a fake for Cleveland State. B is not going to be their end goal here. It looks like it is going to be A, as Curse is up on a pretty high off angle. Niku's satcheling into the bomb site. Camino, unfortunately, getting caught off guard. Brimstone ult coming in, and I mean, what can you do as Niku's here? He gets his, man. He's trying his best to, you know, help, you know, salvage what we can on this round. The shots aren't connecting.
He has time to plant.
He has time to plant,
but they're just running in. They're just running in.
No, you hate to see it. There has been no timeouts called for the side of Cleveland State. As, I mean, it's heartbreaking, but it is now match point for Akron. 12-5 for the side of Akron, and it is going to be hard.
Yep.
As I think the economy for Cleveland State is not that good. If you could hold tab for me. I don't think Akron, I don't think Cleveland State has...
I'm not working.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Actually, I lied. Okay, the economy is not that bad for Cleveland State. It looks like some decent weaponry. Everybody has a rifle, just a couple of light armors, as Cleveland State is looking to literally 4-man B main here. Shepard getting the first kill on the Camino. We're holding an operator. How is that? That's just not a good play in any sensible world. You need to get this off the line, and it looks like Cleveland State are literally going to swing into the line again.
You lost Crow.
D10 with the op of his own. Shepard. What is that? Showstopper coming in. Gets no kill. Revy gets a frag on the D10. That's 1 op off the board, but there's another, as it looks like Akron is going to retake 2-2 from both Gen and Canteen. Levy in the Canteen smoke, trying to make a hero play, as Curse is going to pick him off.
Headshot through the smoke.
Rago is going to get Niku's, as it is a heartbreaking 1v4 for Rebby here. Where did my team go? Everybody died taking ones. He's going to get fault lined out.
Yeah,
and Rogel is going to get the final kill.
It's going to be map 2 going to Akron.
I mean, going into this game, we knew it was going to be hard. You know, this Akron team is tried and true. Like I said myself, personally, I think the gold team is a lot harder to defeat than the blue team. Simply because it seems like these guys have have chemistry. Unfortunately for Cleveland State, their initiator just was making bad plays. To put it quite frankly, what I'm hoping to see out of them is, a much better. What's the last map here? Do we know by chance? No.
Just gotta wait.
I guess we just gotta wait. I mean, going to this next map, I just want to see Cleveland State have fun and literally push things that they think they should. Stop hesitating. We're gonna take a 5-minute break here, just to feel out this last map. Hopefully, we can continue this BO5. Cleveland State with a reverse sweep would be really nice to see here.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do tonight, so a reverse sweep would be nice.
Yeah, right? Seeing a nice little reverse sweep. Any thoughts on the match so far, Micah?
Definitely could be going better for CSU. You hate to see that early long loss streak on the beginning of on second map. So yeah, I just hope CSU can just pull this back together and get a win.
Perfect. I mean, I literally have the same mutual feelings. I mean, Shepard is just, catching these guys off guard. We're not playing right against an operator. These guys are pushing 4 people in one bomb site. And unfortunately, Crow was not able to hold down his site most of the time. Unfortunately, we're making individualistic plays, hero plays that should not be made. Given the situation, of course, obviously I want to see a star come out, emerge, and take the reins of the game for Cleveland State. Going to this last map, I hopefully want to see better communication from Cleveland State, better team play, and a lot more trusting of each other,
Yep.
And so we're going to take a 5-minute break here. I'll be right back after the break.
Alright then, we are heading over to Haven. Looks like we are almost having a mirrored composition. We are seeing the Sova might be a comfort pick. Both teams, the CSU going with the breach and in the jet, as opposed to Akron using Sova and Yoru.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to map 3, Cleveland State Vikings versus Akron. What are they? I don't even know what they're called. Yeah. Whatever. Against Akron. Map 3 here, as Akron have a 2-0 lead in this BO5. We are hoping to see Cleveland State reverse sweep. Hopefully it starts with Haven here. And Cleveland State look to kind of have a 1-3-1 here. Cypher playing C by his lonesome. Unfortunately, he's going to run into 3 Akron players, with 2 of them being mid here, right? And it looks like Akron is slowly picking up on the fact that, you know, Cleveland State kind of really do anti-strat their pistols. So we'll see how this begins here. We have guided salvos coming in for early trips, and as well as the shock darts, you know, early lines being taken. It looks like Cleveland State aren't backing down with all this utility pressure, as Akron shuffle around the map, and Revy looking to get active long. Constantly holding this line here. Drone coming up is going to spot two players, potentially even 3 in the back. He's walking, swinging, and catches 1 here, as Cleveland State are going to force a rotate. Dart coming in. 3 players towards A here. Breeze not rotating for sure, as Crow finds 1, dings him. Unfortunately, cannot get the kill. He has a cage going up, as Akron look to exec out on this bomb site on C here. Crow getting caught off guard. It's a little wonky. Levy there to help him out. Cam coming out. Camino gets 1 to the smoke. Gets 2. Victro getting 1 himself on the little round. And it looks like another Cleveland State pistol here. Revy looking to flank, as Rogel is the only Akron player left alive, and Revy. Nice little round out of Cleveland State. Nice mid round. Really well done by Crow to live there. Backside C.
Levy there to save Crow's life.
Oh my god, yeah. No kidding. Because Shepard was literally just hunting him. And I mean, the ball's on the guy, because he was 1 HP, literally just running into backside, not even knowing how many players were there, let alone no utility. But that is a nice start to the game here. CSU setting a precedent on Haven, saying, okay, we're not out of the fight yet. You know what I mean? We still have the potential to come back, as Revy is guided salvos, conditioned a main, grabbing the orb with help from Niku's. Camino, understanding there's a Cypher cam, he goes to break it with the ghost, not revealing he has a bulldog, kind of just taking his own fight mid here. There's 2 Akron players outside of garage here, 3 if you include Rogel unfortunately getting caught off guard here, as Akron look to just exec out on the C. D10. What is D10 doing, just jumping around?
I don't think he saw it. I don't think he was fully paying attention.
I guess he wasn't, as Vikes Crow is now left to try and hold a really aggressive Akron. Curse getting a nice right click on a Crow. Is that a bulldog for Akron? It is. Now it's a little bit scary, but fortunately Camino is there to shut that down. Shepard gets picked off. 3 on the round for Camino. 4 on the round. Make it an ace. The people want to see an ace. Unfortunately,
he's gonna steal it.
He's going to steal it. But I mean, what a round from the boy Camino here. I mean, just swinging in the mid, getting a nice kill on D10. Nice little refrag on for Crow, and Cleveland State can save 2 bulldogs and an outlaw. I mean, you know, pretty good weaponry for the bonus round, including a little bit of deagles all around for Crow and Revy. Cleveland State now 2 off of this breach ult, which is really good, as they look to just walk down mid here. And this might be a perfect round to do it because Akron looked to walk down mid themselves, or walk a mid. Guided salvos coming in for A main again, but this time it's for mid. I don't know if Akron sees that, but now we're calling, the garage splitting C. Crow is going to be on an island by himself, trying to delay, trying to do anything he can to get his, but unfortunately a D10 is going to put an end to Vikes Crow.
Niku's on the flank.
Niku's getting unfortunately could not get one. Revy picking up the bulldog, trying to get one himself. 4 bullets. He's gonna have to reload as Akron are just all sitting on the bomb site here. 2 flanking long here as Camino gets one off of his ult, mind you, as Rogel is going to just fight up. Gets 2. He has breach ult. Is he going to use it? He's just biding time. Time is cursed. He's on top of the box here as Revy is looking to just run out of the smoke. Gets 1. Atrium gets 1 himself. Camino with the ult, but is he going to do it? He's Shepard with the off-angle garage guided salvos is going to put a stop to Camino and the shenanigans.
Camino might be able to take their guns though.
1?
Unfortunately, was able to steal 1 of them at least.
Hey. But Micah, that's really, really good because now if we look at the economy of Akron, they have really bad weaponry, and Cleveland State still has, they all have rifles, they all have some form of shield, whether that be light or not. But Akron is struggling to, here I could buy, my top frag gun. Somebody else. Shepard has a shorty. It looks like he's 1 off his ult though, and so he's going to try and get it C. Camino reading this. Perfect round to fight C. Falling coming in, Sun coming out, dashed up, Camino getting 1. Understanding there's one other. He's just still swinging. Tries to get another one. Unfortunately, does not use the ult, which surprises me, You getting 1 there, seeing the bomb. How is that not a trigger that there's more behind the bomb? Levy, backside of C, is unfortunately going to get hatted by the neural theft. Sprays in the smoke and tags Shepard.
Got some chip damage over there.
Knife out is not going to expect Shepard just walking up as Crow is going to get caught off guard. Levy in a 1v1 situation chooses to dance around the left and brings out his hands. And unfortunately, Rogel is going to best him in the 1v1 scenario.
It's pretty easy when your opponent doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, it is pretty easy. He has his hands out. Like, what is he doing? Like, give me a hug? Like, next time, let's have our guns out in the 1v1 scenario. You know what I mean? And, a lot better on this map than last map for Cleveland State. Unfortunately, it is now going to be Cleveland State on the back foot in terms of economy, and they are going to fight A. And it looks like Akron is going to just default around the map once again, trading smokes, 1 top C, 1 window. Shepard is going to take his teleport, flashes himself, gets Revy somehow, and then Niku is going to refrag. D10 is going to refrag on the Camino, solo peeking short, thought he had a timing, and I'm gonna make sure I talk to him about that later. An aggro cam coming out on the side of Rogel for mid, and so he understands that there is nobody mid.
Almost got another one.
Oh my goodness, Niku's trying his best to get 1 more. Vikes Crow hearing all this noise running up. He's going to get a nice shot on D10. Oh my goodness. Checking cam, doesn't really see a lurker, and so Akron is going to get into a post-plant situation on A bomb site. Omen TP, Vikes Crow thinking it's heaven, but it is actually sewer. Levy is going to jump, but he's none the wiser as Curse spots him and hears it out. Vikes Crow in a 1v3 scenario. He's good with the deagle, but is he this good that he can stop a 1v3? It always starts with 1. He's going to cage. Tries to get 1 here, but unfortunately Rogel is going to stop him. A little bit of armor chipping, so always good to make the enemy's team's economy just that much worse. And we're going into the second gun round here against Akron, as Niku's is going to bring up an op on the board, and that op might be detrimental to the defensive side of Cleveland State. I know this Niku's guy, whenever he gets, active with the op, whenever he's on, it's unstoppable. And so they are going to try and set him up on the short line, as Shepard is going to ult down short. He's not going to get hit and gets out of the ult. Unfortunately, catches Niku's off guard and just teleports away. And Cleveland State are none the wiser. They
rotate over to C.
They think it's A, but realistically it is C. And Curse is going to get the kill onto Levy. It is so unfortunate. Crow is going to have to try to get his here. Shepard just walking into enemy lines and is going to win. Revy is going to pick up the op and just try to save it for the next round because that's all you can do. I mean, Cleveland State, I apologies for picking on them, but we have a breach ult. We have an annihilation for the retake. Why are we not playing for them? How are we not ult tracking and making sure that we recognize that they have a Yoru ult, you know, arguably a direct counter to an op? Like, that's just impossible to play against when you are an op or when you have a blue guy just appearing out of nowhere and shorting you in the face. You know what I mean? Revy here, about to get into a one-gun fight. Pre-fires, but unfortunately could not get him. Special delivery coming out onto a not stunned Curse who right-clicks him. Camino getting the refrags, but Rago is not going to let them save. As Cleveland State are on the back end, 2-4, and Cleveland State have one hero rifle. You know, he's like, Camino looks like he's going to try and hero rifle this round with the amount of ults that they have, while the rest of his team are on sheriffs. Vikes Crow setting up on C, as it looks like he's going to be bombarded by 5 Akron players. Make that 4.
Camera taken out.
So his cam's gonna get popped immediately, and that's gonna be the tail.
Oh my goodness, he just almost ran into the starting point of the annihilation that would have killed him immediately, but fortunately for him, he stops. Runs out before that. Levy getting a nice first blood on Atrium. A nice second shot on Niku, or on Atrium. Curse is going to refrag Niku's. Camino with 1. Unfortunately gets dropped by D10. Now we're spotting the Cypher's lurk, droning him out, and a counter drone coming out from D10. Spotting Vikes Crow is getting tagged. Shock Dart potentially coming in, and Annihilation being used here. Nice Annihilation pair up with Vikes Crow's nice deagle shots. Levy looking garage, but now we spot that Rogel is C long. Bomb is unknown. It looks like CSU. Oh, now they spot it. He's going to throw a smoke, spam into the smokes, and Levy with 3 on the round to have a nice thrifty victory for Cleveland State to bring it back.
CSU making it 3-4.
3-4. But unfortunately for them, though, they are on the back end of ult economy. Yeah, they have the Cypher Neural Theft. Yeah, they have the Omen from the Shadows. But, I mean, how good are those realistically on a retake? You know, obviously there are niche moments when they could be used. But now that the big ults are gone, you know, the Annihilation being used, the big Breach ult being used, I wonder how Cleveland State is going to play this. Well, they're going to start it first off by sending the op on the A line here and being wary of an Akron aggression just in garage. They just have garage for free. As Revy picks off the lurking Rogel outside of A main and is now just posted on the deep line. Camino in a garage battle between Shepard. Top frag versus top frag here. Clearing him out, and nice little kill by Camino on the Shepard here. Thank God he cleared his angles. Levy kind of being aware of the fact that they could have lurked. Niku's with a nice op shot on Atrium. He didn't have to, but he headshot him. And now both Akron players are struggling to pick up the pieces. Revy with a nice little toe shot on the Curse, spotting him out. But they are none the wiser to the A-long guy. They spot out the short guy. He's pulling out his drone. Levy in a 1v1 scenario. Fall line coming in. A nice fault line to stop D10 in his tracks as Levy closes out the round, making it 4-4 and tying it up for Cleveland State. I mean, let's talk about Camino for a second here. 15-5 with 8 assists. This guy's fragging and supporting. Personally, as a Breach player myself, I can understand that this guy's having a really good game. This guy is really communicative. He's feeling it. He's clearing everything. He's aware of everything. And, I mean, it just reflects, you know, his Champs Phantom is lit up because only the top frag can have it. Vikes Crow here, setting up like regular, aggro cam and walking up. Understands that there is one behind C long here, and Levy here to hold for him. Unfortunately, he's smoked off. Vikes Crow here's one, gets a nice shot. He spots the second, gets a nice two. Is he gonna hat? No neural theft coming in. Camino with the nice kill. They are opting to potentially save the neural theft here as Cleveland State look really dominant, as Akron are just, you know, walking up front B, trying to potentially even just get a bomb plant down. A stinger in the hands of D10 and a deagle in the hands of Rogel. Smoke Niku's off the line. Camino just attempted to walk into their spawn. Niku's is getting one. The knives are hitting. Ball coming in does not help at all. Rogel gets one. D10 gets two. You know, that became pretty costly for Cleveland State, which it should not have gotten to, because it was pretty flawless from the beginning up until, you know, the cage came out. But fortunately for Cleveland State, they are up round advantage by 1. Niku still has the op on the board, and it looks like, you know, Cleveland State are starting to get their confidence back. Fracture was a bad map, and the past is in the past. Now Cleveland State look to put everything on the line, as Camino is literally just walking out mid. He's just walking out mid. This is my own personal favorite thing to do as Breach. I just walk out on Haven and just get all that space. Now getting all that space means that we recognize it has to be C. There's nothing here. I cleared out both A and all of mid and B. And Crow looks to delay on the C. Shock Dart's coming out, not really hitting the trip, and the trip is still active, so they have no reason to worry about anything. Niku's getting on the line here with the jump spot. Deep smoke, as Camino has all of the exits here, you know. Fault line out. He's getting Euro ulted. They're wasting Euro ult on clearing their spawn. That's how nervous Akron are on holding their flank. Unfortunately, Camino is in a really committal spot, which he gets caught off guard. And now Cleveland State are getting had and neural thefted, and they see the gap, and they are looking to go to C. Re-hitting C with Shepard just kind of on his own in A-Link here. Oh my goodness, the timing is really bad as Shepard gets Revy off guard. But Levy in a world of his own on C. Vikes Crow refragging him. Unfortunately, the special delivery lands at the bottom of his feet and stuns him. Niku's 1v2 on the side, dashes up, shorty in hand. Unfortunately, he gets one tap by Curse. I mean, I just don't think Camino sticks around. You know, him just being in this box and just getting hard cleared by your ult that you can't see, first of all, and he sees everything, he's clearing everything. He's a human drone. That's just not a play you want to make. And that, you know, arguably cost them the round. Fortunately for Cleveland State, the economy is still good enough to that Niku's combine op with full armor, and Akron look to be walking into the line of sight of this opera. No Yoru TP, Yoru clone short as Atrium just barrels it down with the Shepherd behind his back on short. Fortunately for Cleveland State, there are 3 players here. Niku's op shot not hitting as the jump spot stops him. Another cage coming out and a drone just getting him off of the line. Resetting, going to sewer. Camino getting a nice kill on the Atrium here as Niku's gets reset on the op line. Dash popped, re-swinging. Is he going to go for more? Yes, he's going to go for more. I love this. He's swinging. Unfortunately, the shots don't connect as Niku's has to hold a much more passive line. Lots of shots coming from the mid side of the map as Camino unfortunately gets picked off by 1 HP Shepard. Niku finally gets the off shot on the board here on the D10, and now it's a lot of question marks around A, but it's committal smokes on C. And so with the omen from the shadows from backside that Crow is hearing, not committed, but he hears that they're gearing towards C. Walking into the bomb site is Akron. Revy in a 1v1, nice kill on the Shepherd. Now they have to understand that the last guy is near or on C. Vikes Crow cleaning it up, making sure that Akron knows C bomb site is his.
We are going into the last round. CSU 6-5. Let's hope they can make it 7-5.
A 7-5 round way to end a half here would be nice. No timeouts, mind you, coming from the side of Cleveland, and so that's really good. Ops on the board here as everybody's economy is thriving. Final half of defensive side for Cleveland State. as we see the same type of play, but more garage holding orientated defensive hold. Sova drone coming in, a smoke coming out. D10 looking to just solo fight garage on his own, which is going to potentially be really bad for Levy. He's getting shock darted, so D10 is kind of aware of jumping around as he is looking to fight a Stinger one-on-one inside of a smoke. Can he get a shorty in hand? Drone clearing him out. A fall line coming in from his own teammate, I think. A stun coming in. His teammates are just ulting him.
All the util.
All the util in the world. But, I mean, that ult does get 3, so of value, if you could consider it that. Camino spotting one, looking to take a fight before opting to back out. Deaton just not giving up fighting garage. A recon coming back out. Nice little flick onto there, but unfortunately Deaton will kill him, but Camino's there to get the refrag. Now we have to worry about front B of Haven here as Revy's getting bombarded. He just is running and gunning and getting Atrium somehow. Roggle with the refrag on the Camino. Niku's with the nice shot on Curse as it is now 3v1. Annihilation coming out to stall, and Vikes Crow closes out the half on the Roggle. 7-5 for Cleveland State. This is the first map as in this BO5 that we have had the lead going into the half. And so this is a really good start and a really good game from the boy Camino. 20 kills, 8 deaths, and 9 assists. Like I said, this guy is fragging and he's assisting. There's nothing that this man can't do besides, you know, maybe overheating. Not maybe, definitely overheating at times. But Cleveland State going into this round look to, you know, hard aggro towards mid, a reminiscence of what Akron were doing. But it looks like they are going to do it with 4 instead of, you know, prodding around towards C. Or towards garage. Guided salvos coming in for the early trips. Niku is just running up with the flash. No jet dash pop. Sees Curse. Paranoia out. Potentially just coming out. Aftershock coming in. He's going to have to run out, and he lives somehow. Throughout all that, he lives. And Niku's just in the worst spot possible. They were trying to set him up to be an insert, but it looks like Akron are wise to this. And now a nice little camp clears out front of B. Spots that one is towards A Link. Do they know there's one towards C Link? None the wiser. Trips gets broken, and so Revy is unfortunately going to have to like walk up and hold that. Curse is going to get the first blood on, and the shots just don't connect for Crow as it is now a 2v5 in favor of Akron. Revy with a nice one to start the round out. HM is going to find the headshot to land on Curse, and it is an unfortunate final kill from Shepard on the Revy. I mean, I thought the early round was pretty good, you know. They were trying to insert. They saw all that. They wasted a Paranoia, which is a pretty, you know, pretty decent hard stop utility.
Yeah, but thanks to that Paranoia from Akron, he was able to live.
Exactly. Somehow he was able to live, and that ended up being the saving grace for Akron, as he was somehow able to spam through the smoke and get one of our Cleveland State players. Now, going into this round, though, it looks like Cleveland State are going to default a little bit. Guided Salvo's looking to find the trips to be broken. Finds the garage trip, I think. Shock Dart is going to land for a little bit of chip damage on Camino and Niku's. D10 on an island of his own on A. Drone coming out short. D10 swinging it. Nice shot by Niku's. And now it is just all holds barred on A site here, as Camino is initiating the A site take. Free bomb site. Niku stinger in hand. Guided salvo's coming in, but he's going to tank it for the greater good. Special delivery gone, Paranoia gone, as Niku's looks to get active, but Curse and Atrium running and gunning with Spectres, and they're going to get nice kills. Curse getting the 3rd kill. Vikes Crow with 1 nice kill of his own.
And Levy is a little too far. They're just going to stick the defuse.
They're going to have to stick the defuse, as Levy is going to try and do a little bit of chip damage, and Roggle is going to get the closing kill. As now they bring it back 7-7, a little bit of BM, you know, 1 extra bullet into the dead body of Levy, but we'll let that slide because hopefully we are going to get this final map. Now, what I want to see out of these guys, Cleveland State, Micah, is no hesitancy, just like how they did it. Nice shot onto the solo D10 player on A, right? And he's And if they can consistently just get the first bloods and not stop their momentum, I think that these guys are going to be unstoppable on offense. And now it looks like Cleveland State are going to go A main, get D10 off that early A line, and force a rotate. Force rotates, because Shepard is literally just walking down mid, and Cleveland State players are none the wiser. There are gaps literally everywhere, but fortunately for Cleveland State, there are trips holding both entry points for Shepard here. Drone coming out from the side of Akron. He spots nothing. Cleveland State are wary of a potential gap, but I do not think they are aware of a guy literally in their spawn, as Levy is going to get spotted. Revy is going to die. Shepard gets one, gets two, because we are not aware of the mid gap. Vikes Crow is going to have to try to see if he can get the kill, but he's 34 HP against a Deagle, meaning he's one shot. It looks like Camino is going to just try and take space, but unfortunately, again, very individualistic. Hot frag feeling it. He just has to try to make space, as Vikes Crow is trying to hold on to long space here, and Shepard is literally just walking around in their spawn. Nikuz is on A, but I mean, the bomb just being held down, there's literally nothing they can do. Vikes Crow getting scanned, D10 just running at him, the recon, and I hope to see a Cleveland State timeout come out here.
10 seconds left.
Seven 8 in favor of Akron on Haven.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in.
No timeout coming from Cleveland State, as they look to set up an eco push here. For Akron, it looks like they have pretty decent weaponry, opting to keep the Guardian, as you know, they'd rather let their economy thrive. One hero rifle coming from Niku's here, and it looks like Cleveland State are going to bombard A, specifically A long, and it looks like Akron are ready for this. They have 3 here with Sentinel utility, holding for a dart, broke it. Shepard being set up on the long cubby line, drone coming out from both sides, recon tagging Niku's cubby. He scans Shepard with a flash out, looking to take the timing. Walking up, nobody's playing anti, we're all blind. Shepard gets one. Crow with a classic D10 is going to get the kill on the Camino. Clone broken. He's trying to get this Vandal here. Revy and Levy getting one of their own, catching these guys off guard because there is a huge short gap. One heaven, one spawn. Roggo gets a kill onto the guy. Default. Atrium just running up. Revy is going to have to tail diff him. Both people 1 HP for the side of Cleveland State. Trips coming out as Curse is literally just walking onto the bomb site, killing him. Vikes Crow, it's a little labored, but unfortunately Roggo is going to get the kill at the end, bringing the round deficit to 2 in favor of Akron. Can you take the gassing for 1 second?
Yeah. Alright then, we do have Akron with the dimensional drift again, so although we might not see it since there might not be anything else to follow it up with, like say the Sova ult, but maybe they use. Oh yeah, actually I think they are about to use it. They're just hugging the front. Oh no, they're just pushing up. They're in cubby. CSU in middle, trying to decide between either garage or B. Levy has no clue that Yo is standing right behind him. Shepard's just waiting to see if anyone else comes, decides to just take the kill. Crow, ooh, couldn't land the shot. CSU down 2 players already. Fault line going in. Omen shooting from on top of the boxes. Atrium finding one. They finally realize Omen's up top, but it's just Revy left. Oh, that was... Ooh. We are going to see CSU taking a timeout here. I hope they can come up with some strategies to help to keep them in the game. Alright then. Here. Looks like CSU is going to go down middle again.
Alright. Now, it looks like Cleveland State off the timeout are going to do a garage split. Trip coming in from A, and it looks like Cleveland State are really set up for a garage split here as the drone clears out Atrium, and Nikus is literally just all the way up in window. Annihilation coming in for C as Aftershock is going to clear all of these angles. Close angle is stunned. Camino with the labor trade. Levy getting caught off guard. Shepard getting 2. Vikes Crow getting 1 on the Shepard here. D10 is going to get refragged. Vikes Crow in a 1v2 scenario. Hat up.
That's an
up to use, but he does not use it as he gets caught off guard, and they run into an unfortunate stack.
Akron has 4 ultimates now, as well as just the overall advantage in the economy.
Yeah, ult economy is at an all-time high for Akron here, as Cleveland State look to try and bring this map back before it goes into match point territory. And now it looks like Cleveland State are going to get really aggressive again down mid, and Shepard is going to get 115, and that is going to be the end of the mid push.
The Punter's fishing for some damage.
Levy going to get a nice refrag on the Atrium, trying to bring this back. He has a nice lurk up on the C, is calling the lurk, shoots the clone for whatever reason. Paranoia taking a very individualistic play here.
Got
oh my goodness.
Wallbang headshot, leaving them on low health.
2 players on the side of Akron were literally 1 body shot, and this round is really winnable. Vikes Crow with a deagle, able to knock 2 players out here potentially. Here's one in the Cypher cage, sees the gun barrel, he's able to react fast to it. Ulk coming out, Revy getting, oh my goodness, Revy in a 1v1 scenario, 5 bullets with Shepard with a flash. He literally just TP's on, and this final shot gets the kill onto Shepard. A little bit labored, no ult, but Cleveland State won out in the end.
Yo, he teleported a little too early there. His TP wasn't all the way in the corner of the box. Left him right in the open.
I think his intention was to TP out in the open, because that's like so unexpected. That's why he had a flash so close. That being said, though, I mean, arguably it was a misplay by Shepard. Going into this, it looks like Cleveland State are going to continue pushing towards mid. Guided salvos coming in, and it looks like there's two front window. And it looks like Akron are going to push them off himself. Shepard is going to get a garage swing into 3 of them.
Levy going, Levy attempted to steal the
get bombed, but he did not get it. This is all going wrong for CSU as Levy gets 1 back on the Shepard, slowing his roll. Crow is going to unfortunately get angle advantaged on, as Levy is going to try his best to clutch in a 1v4 scenario. Arguably, this is nigh impossible. Paranoia coming out as Rago's literally just running him down from C. 8-12 for the side of Akron, match point.
Match point.
CSU needs to get 4 in a row in order to get to overtime.
4 in a row. I mean, I still believe in Cleveland State. The gun differential might be different here, but if they buy closer range weapons, and including the Blade Storm from Niku's here, this round is definitely still winnable. You know, I want to see this guy get active and start frying Akron players with his blades.
Levy going with the Marshall. That shows how low the economy is.
The economy is pretty low. He's getting smoked off, so this Marshall is just not really going to get much value. Cleveland State 1-3-1. They're holding the mid pushes because Shepard has been doing it for so much. Camino trying to take matters in his own hands here with the help of Niku's. They're going to flash close and just swing. Top box is going to... Oh my god, not going to get flashed, unfortunately. Annihilation coming in, but there's a nice little cubby for Camino here as 2 Akron players are literally just walking it down A. And he gets one. He has his ult out, but he's not going to get it as Shepard and D10 flank. And it's just nightmares for Cleveland State.
It's just Crow, and they're on the hunt. They're looking to close out this game.
1v3 scenario with 2 drones, a human and an actual recon drone
and
coming
they found
out.
him,
Scan. He's unfortunately snaps, but could not get the kill, as it is a unfortunate 3-0 loss for Cleveland State in a BO5.
Yep, you hate to see it. Both teams definitely played well, but Akron they hit more shots.
I would like to think they hit more shots, but I also argue that these guys are a lot more well-versed with each other. These guys have been playing with each other for a while, and, you know, this Cleveland State white team, this is their first semester together. And so, I mean, all things considered, I don't think they did too bad. They got, you know, they made it all the way here in the finals of CVAL, and unfortunately had to face, you know, a pretty hard team. All things considered, I think this was a really good showing from Cleveland State White, and hopefully the white team will bounce back in the future.
Indeed.